Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. The soft buzz of my phone jolted me awake. I squinted at the screen, the brightness stinging my eyes in the dim light of dawn. A message flashed ominously, and I instinctively knew something was off. My heart raced as I unlocked my phone, revealing an anonymous text that would turn my world upside down. "Your wife is sleeping with me. If you want me to cede her to you, drop me $50,000. My mind raced. I stared at the screen, my thoughts spiraling. Who could this be? Was it a prank? A cruel joke? But deep down, I felt a gnawing pit in my stomach, an all too familiar sense of dread that had been lingering in the shadows of my marriage. I tried to shake off the doubt, to dismiss it as a hoax. But the words lingered, echoing in my mind. "Your wife is sleeping with me." I gritted my teeth, feeling a wave of nausea wash over me. The betrayal stung, sharper than any knife. My wife, Julia, was the last person I expected to betray me. We had been married for nearly 7 years, a love that had weathered storms, built a life together, and shared dreams of the future. Or so I thought. I remembered her laughter, the warmth of her embrace, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about our plans. But now, it all felt like a fragile facade, ready to crumble at any moment. I needed to confront her, to demand the truth. But I hesitated, uncertainty gnawing at my resolve. What if the text was a lie? What if I was wrong? I didn't want to shatter the last remnants of our relationship without proof. As I paced the living room, my mind raced with possibilities. The thought of her with someone else twisted my insides. Who was he? What did he have that I didn't? I felt anger rising within me, mingling with despair. I could not let this go unanswered. I would find out who was behind this betrayal, and I would make them pay. The day dragged on. I went through the motions, pretending everything was normal while my heart was in turmoil. Julia came home late that evening, a smile plastered on her face, as if nothing was wrong. It infuriated me. I forced a smile back, masking the chaos within me. "Hey, honey. How was your day?" she chirped, completely oblivious to the storm brewing in my chest. "Fine," I replied tersely, my voice flat. "Yours?" "Busy with work," she said, her eyes flickering away from mine. "You know how it gets." I studied her closely, searching for any hint of guilt in her demeanor. But she looked innocent, caught up in the whirlwind of her own thoughts. The disparity between us felt like a chasm, deepening by the second. As the night wore on, I felt a decision solidifying in my mind. I wouldn't confront her just yet. No, I needed a plan. I would gather evidence, collect my thoughts, and make sure I had the upper hand. I glanced at my phone, the message still haunting me. I wanted to reply, to confront the man who dared to threaten me. But what could I say? Instead, I took a deep breath, steeling myself. If this was true, then I would show no mercy. The next morning, I woke up with a renewed sense of purpose. I needed to play my cards right. The thought of revenge ignited a fire within me. I imagined the look on Julia's face when she realized I knew the truth. She wouldn't see it coming, and when the time was right, I would strike. I decided to dig deeper. The following days were filled with silent observation. I watched Julia closely, noting her movements, her phone habits, and the subtle changes in her behavior. I couldn't shake the feeling that she was hiding something. And as the pieces began to fall into place, the gravity of the betrayal only deepened. One evening, I caught her texting late at night, her face illuminated by the screen, a shadow of guilt flickering in her eyes. My heart raced as I leaned against the doorframe, watching her. The thrill of vengeance surged within me, coiling like a snake ready to strike. As I took a step back, retreating to the safety of the shadows, a plan began to form in my mind. I would confront her, but not in the way she expected. I would ruin her life, piece by piece, until she realized the depths of her betrayal. With every heartbeat, my resolve strengthened. The man who texted me may have thought he was in control, but he didn't know me. He didn't know how far I was willing to go to reclaim my life. And Julia? She would soon learn that some betrayals come with a price, one she would never be able to pay. Little did they both know, their betrayal would unleash a darkness within me that they could never have anticipated. This was only the beginning. The next few days feel like a blur of tension and anticipation. My heart races with each text I receive from Julia, her messages brimming with sweetness and normalcy, as if nothing has changed. Each "I love you" feels like a dagger, twisting deeper into my gut. I need to remain calm, to gather my thoughts before I make my move. One evening, after a long day of work, I decide to confront her about the text. But I need to do it strategically, without revealing too much too soon. I watch as Julia flits around the kitchen, humming to herself while preparing dinner. Her carefree demeanor only heightens my anxiety. "Hey, babe," I call out, my voice betraying no hint of the storm brewing inside me. "Yeah." She turns, her face lighting up with that familiar smile that used to melt my heart. "Can we talk?" I suggest, trying to keep my tone light. "Of course." "What's up?" she replies, placing a skillet on the stove. I take a deep breath, my mind racing. "I've been feeling a bit off lately. You know, just stress from work and everything." Her expression softens, and she walks over, resting her hand on my arm. "You know you can talk to me about anything, right?" I nod, forcing a smile. "I know. It's just, sometimes I feel like we're not as connected as we used to be." She furrows her brow, a flicker of concern crossing her face. "What do you mean? I thought things were good between us." "They are," I say, leaning in closer, lowering my voice. "But I got this weird message the other day. From someone I don't know." Her eyes widen, and I catch a glimpse of something: fear? Guilt? I decide to press on. "They claimed you were with someone else." "Who?" she asks, her voice rising slightly, betraying a crack in her composure. "Does it matter?" I counter, watching her closely. "I just want to know if there's any truth to it." "Of course not. How could you even think that?" She pulls away, crossing her arms defensively. "You know I would never cheat on you. Would you?" I challenge, feeling the tension between us thickening. "Because I'm getting mixed signals here." Julia's lips press together, and for a moment, I see the mask slip. "You're overreacting, you know that." "Am I?" I ask, my voice low and steady. "What if I told you I received a message demanding money for you?" She gasps, her hand flying to her mouth. "What? That's insane. Who would do that?" "I don't know, Julia. But I'm starting to think there's more to this than you're letting on. I swear, I'm not hiding anything." Her voice shakes, and for a split second, I feel a pang of guilt. But it dissipates quickly, replaced by the fire of betrayal igniting within me. "Then prove it," I say, my tone cutting like a knife. "Let's be transparent with each other. Show me your phone." She hesitates, and my heart pounds in my chest. "Why do you need to see my phone?" "Because I need to know the truth," I insist. "Either you show me, or I'll have to dig deeper." A tense silence fills the room, and I can see the gears turning in her head. Finally, she exhales sharply. "Fine. But you're being ridiculous." She grabs her phone from the counter and hands it to me. I feel a rush of adrenaline as I scroll through her messages, my eyes darting over the screen. My heart sinks as I see the messages she's exchanged with a man named Mark. The familiarity in their texts is alarming, laced with inside jokes and flirtatious undertones. "Who's Mark?" I ask, trying to keep my voice steady. She hesitates again, her cheeks flushing with color. He's just a coworker. We've been working on a project together. Just a coworker. I echo, my voice rising. These messages don't look just friendly to me. Please, it's nothing, she pleads, her voice trembling. You're blowing this way out of proportion. I hand her back the phone, anger boiling over. You think I'm overreacting? You're the one who's been deceptive. I haven't done anything wrong, she insists, tears brimming in her eyes. Then why the secrecy? I challenge, pacing the kitchen. This isn't just about a message anymore. It's about trust. Julia takes a step toward me, desperation in her voice. What do you want me to say? I'm sorry if I hurt you, but you have to believe me. I love you. Do you? I spit out, the words tasting bitter. Because it doesn't feel like it. Not after what I've seen. I storm out of the kitchen, leaving her standing there, silent tears streaming down her face. My heart aches at the sight, but I remind myself of the betrayal, of the anonymous text that started this spiral. As I retreat to my office, I can feel the weight of her gaze on my back. I sit at my desk, my mind racing with anger and revenge. I pull out my phone and scroll through the contacts until I find the number from the anonymous text. With a deep breath, I type a quick message. Who are you, and how do you know my wife? I hit send, a mix of fear and excitement coursing through my veins. The silence in the room feels deafening as I wait for a response. My mind races with possibilities. This was only the beginning, I needed to prepare for what was to come. Suddenly, my phone buzzes, jolting me from my thoughts. I read the response, my heart pounding. I'll tell you everything, but it will cost you. Meet me tonight at the diner on 5th. My pulse quickens. I know I should be cautious, but the desire for revenge drowns out any fear. This is my chance to uncover the truth, to finally confront the man who has invaded my life. With renewed determination, I stand up, ready to face whatever awaits me. Tonight, the game changes. I'll reclaim what is mine, and Julia will learn that betrayal has consequences. The diner on 5th Street is a rundown establishment, its neon sign flickering in the darkening twilight. The familiar scent of fried food and stale coffee fills the air as I push through the glass door, scanning the small space for the man who holds the key to my wife's betrayal. My heart races as I take a seat at the counter, the faux leather seat sticking to my skin in the humid evening air. Minutes pass, and anxiety twists in my stomach. I can't shake the feeling that I'm walking into a trap, but the need for answers propels me forward. Just as I'm about to check my phone again, a figure approaches, a tall man with scruffy hair and a smug grin. He slides onto the stool next to me, eyeing me with a mixture of amusement and arrogance. Nice to finally meet you, he says, his tone casual as if we're old friends. You must be the husband. Who are you? I ask, trying to mask my anger. You know why I'm here. Relax, man. I'm just a messenger, he replies, leaning back in his seat. Call me Jake. Jake, I repeat, letting the name roll off my tongue. What do you know about my wife? He chuckles, glancing around the diner before lowering his voice. I know she's been spending a lot of time with Mark. You really didn't see this coming? I narrow my eyes, fighting the urge to lash out. Cut the crap. I want the details. How long has this been going on? Long enough for me to know she's not the devoted wife you think she is, he replies, his smirk widening. But let's not get into that yet. I told you I'd give you the information you need, but it'll cost you. How much? I ask, my voice steady despite the storm of emotions swirling inside me. 50 grand, just like I said in the text, he answers, his tone matter of fact. You want your wife back, that's the price. Are you out of your mind? I snap, my fists clenching at my sides. I'm not paying you a dime for a woman who's already betrayed me. Jake raises an eyebrow, feigning innocence. You think I care? I'm just the guy who knows things. You want to play the game, you have to pay to win. I take a deep breath, trying to keep my composure. I don't need her back. I want to know everything you know. And if you don't tell me, I'll make your life a living hell. Jake laughs, the sound grating on my nerves. Threats? Cute. But you really think you can intimidate me? I've seen worse in my life, buddy. I can help you out, but you've got to come up with something better than that. The anger inside me simmers, and I lean closer, lowering my voice. You want to play games? Fine. But know this, I will expose you and Mark. I'll ruin you both if I have to. His smirk falters for a moment, and I can see a flicker of concern in his eyes. You really think you can take on both of us? That's a bold move, but I wouldn't underestimate what I know. I lean back, contemplating my next move. I can't let him see the desperation creeping in, so I smile, keeping my voice steady. Then why don't you tell me what I need to know? Because the way I see it, you're not in a position to make demands. Jake narrows his eyes, clearly weighing his options. You're more determined than I thought. Fine, I'll give you a taste. But I'm still getting paid for the full story. I can feel my heart pounding as he continues, his voice low and conspiratorial. Julia and Mark have been seeing each other for months. They've met up at her office after hours. She thinks you're too busy with work to notice. My blood runs cold. The thought of her in his arms, betraying me in the very place I trusted her, sends a surge of rage through me. What else? He leans in closer, his demeanor shifting slightly. You know about their late-night texts? The secret meetings? It's all about to blow up, man. But it can go one of two ways. You either confront her and lose her for good, or you play it cool and get what you want. What do you mean? I ask, intrigued despite myself. Get her to confess. Make her feel the weight of her choices. Then decide what to do with Mark. I can help with that if you're willing to keep this under wraps. I consider his words, feeling the pieces of my plan fall into place. You think I'll let her walk away without consequences? Look, I don't care what you do, Jake shrugs. But you're not going to get the upper hand if you confront her blindly. I can help you play this smart. Fine, I say, my voice low and dangerous. But if I find out you're lying, I won't hesitate to make you regret it. He smirks again, clearly unfazed by my threat. I like your fire. Let's keep it that way. Just remember, this is your game now. I take a deep breath, determination flooding my veins. You're right about one thing, it is my game. And I'm going to win. As we leave the diner, I can feel the weight of the situation pressing down on me. I need to gather my thoughts and prepare for the storm that's coming. Tonight, I will confront Julia, and I won't hold back. The drive home feels surreal. My mind races with possibilities and plans, the betrayal carving a path for revenge. I pull into the driveway, taking a moment to collect myself. This isn't just about Julia's infidelity, it's about reclaiming my life. As I walk through the door, I find her sitting on the couch, lost in thought. The sight of her makes my heart ache, but I push the feeling aside. I'm ready for this confrontation. I will make her face the truth. Julia, I say, my voice steady but filled with underlying tension. She looks up, startled, and I can see the worry etched on her face. We need to talk. And just like that, the stage is set. The truth will come out, and there will be no hiding from the consequences. The atmosphere in the living room is charged with tension as I face Julia, the air thick with unspoken words. Her eyes dart nervously as she processes my tone, the weight of the situation settling between us. I take a deep breath, steeling myself for the confrontation I've been waiting for. Julia, I begin, my voice firm. I know everything. Her brow furrows in confusion, but I see a flicker of fear in her eyes. What do you mean? Everything about what? Don't play coy with me, I snap, my patience wearing thin. I know about Mark. I know you've been seeing him behind my back. She blinks, the color draining from her face. That's ridiculous. Who told you that? Does it matter? I retort, my anger boiling over. What matters is that you've betrayed me, and I'm done playing games. Julia rises from the couch, her expression shifting from shock to defiance. I haven't betrayed you. I was just. Just what? I cut her off, my voice rising. Just keeping secrets. Just throwing away everything we built together. I was unhappy, she shouts, tears streaming down her cheeks. You were always busy with work, and I felt alone. Alone? I scoff, taking a step closer. You decided to go to another man instead of talking to me. That's your excuse. Please, just let me explain, she pleads, but my resolve hardens. You don't get to explain anything. You've already made your choice, I hiss, anger coursing through me. And now, I'm going to make you feel the consequences. Consequences, she echoes, her voice trembling. What are you talking about? I pull out my phone, the screen illuminating the darkness. You think this is just about you and me? You've got no idea who you're dealing with. I show her the message I received from Jake, the man who's been feeding me information. This is just the beginning. Her eyes widen as the realization sinks in. You've been talking to him. Why would you do that? Because he knows everything, Julia. Everything you tried to hide, I say, my voice low and dangerous. And I'm going to use it against you. What do you mean? She asks, her voice faltering. I take a step back, letting the weight of my words sink in. I'm done being the fool. I'm going to expose you and Mark for who you really are. Everyone will know the truth. Please don't do this, she begs, her hands clasped together in desperation. I'll do anything. Just don't ruin my life. Too late for that, I reply coldly, my heart racing with a mixture of anger and adrenaline. You made your bed, and now you'll lie in it. Before she can respond, I turn on my heel and stride toward the door, ready to take action. I can feel her gaze burning into my back as I step outside, determination fueling my every move. I drive to Mark's apartment, each mile adding to my resolve. This isn't just about revenge, it's about reclaiming my life and dignity. I won't let their betrayal go unpunished. When I arrive, I park across the street, my heart pounding in my chest. I scan the building, waiting for the moment I see Mark's car. My fists clench as I prepare for what's about to unfold. After what feels like an eternity, I spot him walking toward the entrance, a casual air about him. He doesn't see me as I step out of my car, my body taut with anticipation. This is my chance to confront the man who's torn my life apart. Mark. I call out, my voice sharp as a knife. He turns, surprise washing over his face. What the hell are you doing here? Let's talk, I say, closing the distance between us. You owe me an explanation. An explanation? He laughs, his arrogance infuriating. You're the one who needs to back off, man. This is none of your business. Isn't it? I challenge, stepping closer, my voice lowering to a menacing whisper. You're sleeping with my wife. It's very much my business. His smile falters, replaced by a hint of unease. Look, I don't want any trouble. This isn't worth it. Too late for that, Mark, I growl, the anger boiling over. You think you can just take what's mine without consequences? Before he can respond, I shove him hard, sending him stumbling back against the wall. He recovers quickly, his eyes narrowing as he prepares to retaliate. Don't think you can push me around, he warns, his voice low and threatening. I'm not afraid of you, I shoot back, adrenaline coursing through my veins. You think you're tough? You have no idea what I'm capable of. In a flash, he lunges at me, and I sidestep just in time, dodging his fist. We grapple for a moment, the intensity of our anger fueling the fight. I can feel the weight of betrayal driving me forward, the desire for retribution igniting a fire within. With a sudden burst of strength, I push him against the wall again, my face inches from his. You think you can just play with people's lives? You'll regret crossing me. He smirks, his bravado wavering. You're out of your league, man. Not anymore, I snarl, the fury boiling within me. I pull back my fist and deliver a swift punch to his jaw. The impact reverberates through my arm as he crumples to the ground, clutching his face in shock. You think you're invincible? I hiss, standing over him. You've just been exposed for the coward you are. You and Julia both. He groans, trying to get back on his feet, but I'm not done yet. I grab his collar and pull him close. You think this is over? I'll make sure everyone knows what a pathetic excuse for a man you are. With that, I shove him down once more, the weight of my anger finally lifting as I watch him struggle to regain his composure. I step back, taking a deep breath, the adrenaline coursing through me. As I turn to leave, I hear him call out, "You'll regret this." I pause, glancing back at him. Regret? No, Mark. This is just the beginning. The drive home feels surreal, the weight of my actions settling heavily on my shoulders. I pull into the driveway, taking a moment to collect my thoughts. I've taken the first step, but there's still so much left to do. When I enter the house, Julia is waiting for me, her face pale and eyes wide with fear. What happened? Are you okay? Save your tears, Julia, I say, my voice steady. I confronted Mark. He won't be bothering us anymore. Her eyes fill with panic. What did you do? Don't worry about it, I reply coldly, the anger still simmering just beneath the surface. You should be more concerned about what happens next. I can explain, she cries, desperation etched across her features. Please, don't do this to us. I shake my head, the betrayal cutting deeper than any wound. There is no us anymore. You chose your path, and now you'll face the consequences. Consequences? What are you talking about? She asks, her voice rising. I didn't mean to hurt you. But you did, I say, my tone unyielding. You've shattered everything we built. This is the end for us, Julia. As the reality sinks in, I see her break down, the weight of her actions finally hitting home. Please, don't leave me. I'll do better, I swear. But I'm already moving toward the door, my resolve unwavering. It's too late for promises. You made your choice, and now you'll live with it. With that, I step outside, the door slamming behind me. I can feel the weight of betrayal lifting, replaced by a sense of freedom. I won't let their actions define me any longer. As I walk away, I realize that I've taken control of my life again. The betrayal may have cut deep, but it won't be the end of my story. I'll rebuild, stronger than ever, leaving behind the ashes of a life built on lies. The road ahead is uncertain, but for the first time in a long while, I feel a sense of hope. I am ready to embrace whatever comes next, unburdened by the shackles of betrayal.